Paul Ryan's relationship with Donald Trump has been tense at times. Early on, Paul Ryan stood up to Trump in a strong way, called him racist, and then did whatever he wanted anyway. So he didn't really put up too much resistance to Donald Trump, but he didn't seem to get along with him very much. One of the reasons his friends say he's stepping down is that he feels like he's running a daycare center, which is a sort of message that we've heard before. But to Donald Trump's credit, despite their long history of rubbing up against each other in a bad way, that analogy made me uncomfortable, so I take it back. They didn't love each other. On his way out, Donald Trump could have insulted him, but he actually sent a pretty, I guess, a congenial message to him. He tweeted this: "Our very weak and ineffective leader, Paul Ryan, had a bad conference call where his members went wild at his disloyalty." But then he did send a nice one today. Speaker Paul Ryan is a truly good man, and while he may not be seeking re-election, he will leave a legacy of achievement that nobody can question. We're with you, Paul. It took us a little bit to get around to being with you after you being an ineffective, weak leader who doesn't know how to win, but he's with him now.
So let's break that down real quick. So those tweets that John just showed you, the negative ones, were right before the election. Why? Paul Ryan, on a couple of occasions, had trouble supporting Donald Trump, including the Access Hollywood tape, which he called, I believe, sickening. And Donald Trump did not like that. So is Donald Trump's opinion of Paul Ryan's legislative prowess connected to Paul Ryan's achievements? Don't be ridiculous. But Donald Trump doesn't have any idea what Paul Ryan's achievements are, right? Or what legislation he's in favor of or against. He just knows, is he for Donald Trump or is he against Donald Trump? What did he say about the tapes? I hate that guy. Weak, ineffective leader. Oh, he can't keep anybody in line. He's a terrible guy, bad guy, right? Then later, Paul Ryan bows his head and goes, okay, Donald, you win. You not only did you win the presidency, but you won our base over. So if I dare defy you, I will be tarred and feathered. So yes, Donald Trump, you're a wonderful leader. Oy. Can we just get the donors their tax cuts? And they agreed on that. That was the one thing they agreed on. So they got the giant tax cuts for the rich. And so then Trump turns around and goes, well, good job, Paul Ryan, very good, very good. He's with Donald Trump now. Very good boy, okay? And that's what, so there is no real relationship there.
No.
And if it turns out that before Paul Ryan leaves, impeachment proceedings begin, and Paul Ryan decides to go along with it, wait till you see the tweets about the very good man at that time.
Yeah, and look, those tweets were great. In the end, I don't think that those are the things he will be remembered for or should be remembered for, but I do have a suggestion as to the tweet I would like him to be remembered for, because I think in a very short, just a couple hundred characters, it sums up his philosophy in life. This is a guy that we know grew up, loved Ayn Rand and her insane economic philosophies. And so he gets in. He didn't get to shred entitlements as much as he wanted yet, but he did achieve what he said he would, which is these huge tax cuts. They have showered trillions of dollars on the wealthy and corporations, but he wants to trick you into thinking that this is good for you. So he tweeted this a while back. A secretary at a public high school in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, said she was pleasantly surprised her pay went up $1.50 a week. She said that will more than cover her Costco membership for the year. So for that secretary at the public high school, I admire your optimism, but screw you, Paul Ryan. He knew exactly what he was doing and pushing for these tax bills for years and years and just showered it on him. And because she's gonna get something like $70 a year, he's gonna pitch that like that's some big win for the common working American.
So now let me tell you, John is exactly right. That is Paul Ryan's legacy. Let me tell you the contrast. The top 1% on average, instead of getting $70 like that lady, are going to get over $61,000 in tax breaks every year. And the top 0.1%, those are the main donors to the Republican Party and Paul Ryan, they're gonna get on average $252,000. Every one of them, every year. So that's why Paul Ryan is about to get an incredibly well-paying job. They're going to return that favor to him, and he's going to be fabulously rich, but not nearly as rich as them. And then on his way out with a smirk, oh, she got $1.50 a week. That's so nice. While his donors got $250,000 every year because of him. That's the one thing him and Donald Trump absolutely agree on. If you like this video, bless your heart. We got a lot more where that came from. We do a full show every day, Monday through Friday. Come enjoy it ad-free by by becoming a member. tytnetwork.com/join.